From space, Earth looks peaceful. But in a single moment, everything changes. In 1939, a chain reaction began that would reshape the entire world forever. Before the war, the world was fragile, but still standing, with nations recovering from hardship and believing that another global conflict could never happen again. Behind this calm surface, political tensions were quietly rising as leaders reshaped borders and alliances long before any fighting began.
The world was still struggling after economic collapse, and this instability created the perfect conditions for conflict to grow. Across Europe, military forces began expanding rapidly, not preparing for peace, but preparing for something far more dangerous. A map that once represented peace slowly transformed into zones of tension and division, signaling that something was about to change. Then came 1939. A single invasion triggered a chain reaction that pulled the entire world into war. Blitzkrieg warfare changed everything as speed replaced traditional strategy, and entire regions fell in a matter of days. Cities that once felt safe suddenly came under attack, and fear spread faster than any news could travel. Air raids became a nightly reality, turning the sky itself into a source of destruction and fear. Millions of civilians were forced to abandon their homes, escaping chaos they never imagined possible. What began in one region was no longer contained, as the conflict rapidly expanded across continents.
When the United States entered the war, the balance of power shifted dramatically, turning a regional conflict into a truly global war. In the Pacific, massive naval battles determined control over entire oceans, while in Europe, the war became a brutal fight for every street, every city, and every inch of land. Behind the front lines, entire industries were transformed into massive war production systems, operating at unprecedented scale. Tanks, aircraft, and heavy weapons reshaped how wars would be fought forever, and the world became fully consumed by conflict.
Then came the turning point, as major battles began to shift the direction of the war. Strategy replaced chaos, and Allied forces began coordinating on a global scale with increasing efficiency. Factories worked day and night, producing weapons, vehicles, and supplies at historic levels, fueling the final push. Slowly, the momentum of war began to change, and occupied cities started to break free as liberation movements gained strength. The forces that once seemed unstoppable began to retreat, signaling the beginning of the end. By the final phase of the war, every decision carried global consequences, and the world stood at a critical turning point in history. The United Nations was created in an effort to maintain peace, while two superpowers emerged, shaping the future of global politics. This marked the beginning of a new kind of conflict, known as the Cold War, where power was measured not only in weapons, but in influence. Technology advanced faster than ever before, driven by competition, fear, and ambition. The modern world as we know it was born from the aftermath of destruction. And even today, the systems, borders, and global balance we live under are still shaped by what happened during those years of war.